lives life. The name of the video I'm responding to is "You Should Never Keep a Parent from Their Child or Children." I think that's the name of the video. And I had this long drawn out intro, but now that I'm home, when I was going back over the footage and I was editing it and cutting it down and trying to keep it as short and simple as possible, I felt like this was the best way to introduce it. So I'm responding to that video because in the video you said leave a comment. I'm going to go through you guys' comments, but this was way too much to comment. So here I am, just going to do a video and hopefully you take something from it. This again was made with like the purest intention, and it's a follow-up to the foolproof plan. So y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I want to know if what I was saying is making sense to y'all, because in the last video you guys were saying great advice. It made sense, and yeah, let me know. All right, y'all. Liv, I wish you the best. I keep watching because I just really, really, really want this to work out for you, but I keep seeing you going left, and it's just like, oh, come on, like talk to somebody, like, or something. I don't know. Peace and blessings, y'all. One of my very first thoughts while I was watching that video is the definition of insanity. And I don't know this word for word, but basically the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and not getting a different result or outcome. Liv's life is insane. I would never say that because I do not know her. I am not in a position to clinically diagnose anybody anything. Don't realize they can't see themselves in the situation for obvious reasons. I mean, we have our conscious and subconscious and our experiences and our feelings, and we have all of that stuff. And so sometimes I like to use analogies or objects to make it make sense. I do this for myself in my own life. I do this because sometimes it's hard to step outside of yourself to see how you fit in a picture. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So the analogy that I came up with was like this. Imagine that you are a bus driver, okay? And you have been a bus driver for many, 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 many years. Your schedules, your routes, where people are going, why they need to go there, what it takes to get there. I'm talking about all the things a great bus driver takes into account on a daily basis when they're driving on their routes, okay? And let's just say you're driving on your route. Let's say you've been driving on this route 10 years. Now, let's say that one day things change, right? Things change. This is life. Life is constantly changing. Get to this new stop and you pick up a new face because you've never been on this route before. All right. And this person gets on your bus and they just get on the bus. They don't pay a fare. They don't ask you, do you go to such and such? They don't acknowledge the other passengers on the bus. They just get on your bus, sit down, and you're like, okay, fine. Like, sometimes people don't speak. It is what it is. You don't take that personal. But all of a sudden, from behind you, this passenger starts throwing out commands. Hey, stop here. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Hey, drive a little faster. Hey, slow down. Hey, stop at that light. Hey, that light was yellow. Hey. And as the bus driver, I mean, you deal with the public. You've been doing this job a long time. You understand that people are people and they're going to do what they do. But you're like, the audacity, this person got on my bus, didn't speak, didn't pay the fare, didn't acknowledge the other passengers. How they just going to start barking orders at me? Okay. And I don't know if this is making sense to you, but it made sense to me. And the reason why I'm using this as an analogy is because, Liv, you were the bus driver. Indeed, you were. Okay, you did the mom job for X amount of years, and you was handling your business, and things went the way that you scheduled them to go. Okay, but there is a new driver in town. The new driver is Gerard. And in this particular case, in this analogy, you are the new passenger. Does that make sense? But y'all let me know in the comments if what I just put down is making sense. You cannot get on his bus, his route, his time, and start saying things like, I'm letting everything go. We need to start fresh. You can't get on his route and say, I'm the bus driver now. This is what we should do. You can't get on his route and start saying, we need to sit down and talk. I want to sit down and talk. You cannot get on his route and start getting what you think you should get because you simply are a passenger on the bus. In your case, the mom. Okay? That is what this is like. So now that we've established that, you kept making references saying, he just won't bend. He just won't this. He just won't that. And it was a mind-boggling to me because you turned around towards the end of the video and said, he said he's going to drop them off to me early on your visit day, and you shitted on it. You completely shitted on it. And I understand why you shitted on it, because you were asking for more time. You was initially asking for a week on that you normally would have had off. And he said no, which is his God-given right. But then he offered you something that he didn't have to offer you, and you shitted on it. Back to the bus driver thing, because I was trying to keep this as like unproblematic. So we're going to go back to the bus driving thing. So he is the bus driver and you are the passenger. You as a passenger cannot bark orders at the bus driver from the bus stop. You cannot flag down his bus. You cannot make him stop. You cannot tell him how much the fare is. You cannot tell him to speed up or slow down or what he's doing and not doing correctly from as a passenger of the bus from the bus stop. You have to, when he's saying let's work through some things, I believe that he is essentially saying, step onto my bus, pay your fare, the fare is child support, talk, speak to me and the rest of the passengers on the bus, be cordial, sit down in your seat, put on your seatbelt, hold on, whatever it is, ring the bell when you want to get off. That is what he's saying. He's basically saying, fall in line. And I feel like you think falling in line is kissing his ass. But in reality, first of all, I'm going to tell you, in reality, it's you doing what you need to do to get what you want, essentially. And it's co-parenting. Because unfortunately, co means together or two or whatever, but he's the primary co-parent, so he is in charge of the bus and the routes. And I'm not saying whatever he says goes, but if you can't even get on the bus, you cannot compromise. Does that make sense? You got to get on the bus to make suggestions. If you're not on the bus, they can't even hear you. You at the bus stop, screaming, waving. He can't hear you. I hope that makes sense. I have so much more, but I don't want this to get too long and be all over the place. So I'm just going to cut it off right here, you guys. I appreciate all the comments. Let's get interactive. Let me know if this makes sense to you. I'm going to continue to follow Liv's life, and because I do believe, I really believe that one day she's going to realize that she's not going about things in the most productive way. Like, I don't know why I'm holding out so much hope. Well, I do know why, because, you know, I've been watching her since she was a single mom, and I watched when he left, and I watched her move to Texas and try to like get him back. So I'm invested because the children, obviously, and I've seen everything that she's been through, and I just want to see something positive come out of the situation for her. Why I continue to watch, and whenever God, you know, says to make a video and give my whatever, that's what I'm going to do, and that's exactly what happened. So there's more, so go ahead and follow and like this video if you want to see the rest of this.